Thompson Center presents You Call the Shots. Join our panel of experts, Gordy Cron, Dave Moss, and Mr. Whitetail Larry Weisshuhn, as we invite you to call the shots.
Hunting antelope out west to me is one of those true great western hunting experiences, especially when you're hunting those things during the rut, when they're fighting, they're chasing does. Keep looking, you glass, and then you spot a big old buck such as this right here. Then the fun comes in. How do you get to them? Right. How do you get close enough to them for a shot, especially with a muzzleloader?
Beautiful spot and stock terrain here, though.
Yeah. It is.
Broken country.
It's totally different from so much of the antelope hunt that I do, where it's flat as this table. So there are opportunities to get up a little bit closer to them.
And that's what makes it so much fun, is just creating a strategy and then trying to make it work.
What a great setup, though. I mean, you crawl up onto them right here, got cover to get behind, because their eyesight is unbelievable.
Yep.
It looks like they've got a lot of animals to look over here, too.
Obviously they do. I'm not sure quite where this is, but I'd kind of like to go there, to be honest with you.
Appears that Greg's carrying a muzzleloader here.
Greg has gotten to the point where I don't think he hunts with anything but a muzzleloader. I've never seen anything else in his hands, and I've known him ever since he came to TC many years ago.
Which, of course, adds a challenge to a hunt like this in wide open country, because you still need to get into 200 yards or so, whereas if you were hunting a centerfire rifle, 300, 400 yards even is still a makeable shot.
That's right. You know, here you got to hope that you're not going to find any little prairie rattlers either, because that's one of the things, or the little dog cactus, you know.
Yeah. And that's the best part of the hunt, too, is when you're down on your hands and knees, wondering how close can you get, and trying to see over the edge.
Oops, he bumped him. No,
oh, he's chasing another buck. That's one of the great things about hunting them during that rut period. Uh-oh, looks like he's about to get set up here, and they've spotted one that they really want to get.
He's found one that he likes, and you can tell the guide here is using the rangefinder.
Checking the rangefinder. 148 yards. He's cocking the hammer.
Yeah, he's getting ready to do it. I don't think there's any question that this is a shooter buck. And at 148 yards, that's a good poke with a muzzleloader, but certainly doable. Little bit of a quartering to angle. A lot of things are wrong here. Quartering to angle, the little bit of duff in the way, the prairie grass, but I'm shooting here. I might hold just a little bit higher than I normally would, but I know that 50 cal, even if the shot isn't precise, it's going to put this guy down.
No, I agree. The distance isn't so much of a concern. He's had a lot of animals to look at, and for whatever reason, to me, right now, as I look at this Pronghorn, he's certainly a good one, but I don't see him as being a great one. So it's hard to try and read Greg's mind, because I've sat at this table enough times and said I think Greg's going to shoot when one steps over that's another 25% bigger. So myself, I would take the shot. The slightly quartering toward angle doesn't bother me. With a good bullet, he's going to go right down, and obviously Greg's off a good solid rest, so I'd be pulling the trigger.
I think I'd be doing the same thing. I think the antelope may be a little bit bigger than what we think he is. I think he's got some hooks that kind of come back, because a lot of times you see some that go like this.
Almost like a heart shape.
Like a heart shape, but occasionally you'll have one that hooks back. And obviously he's got pretty good mass, and if it's one that we saw a little bit earlier, he's got a lot of length to him. Me, I'm shooting. Am I worried about what's on the other side? More prairie country. I mean, we've been out here enough to know that there's nothing behind there that you have to worry about if that bullet does pass through.
You just got to hope that they didn't pull the old switcheroo and you're not looking at the smaller of the two bucks.
And it dropped right in its tracks.
It did.
Look at that.
It made smoke, and he is down. And obviously, Greg is very happy. But there you can see, as he turned a little bit, he's got really good prongs.
They kind of go back,
hook
like
back.
you say.
And it is an absolute pleasure to be out there that time of the year.
Get out and stretch the legs. That's what I love about the West. Beautiful animal.
You can see.
Yep, they tip back just like
they do tip back more backwards than inward.
Real nice prongs, really heavy mass at the base too.
Well, I think you did quite well on that.
I think
I'd have done the same thing, or hopefully I could have hit him at that distance.
Yeah, it's not a given.